What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. So guys, Dave Chappelle has recently been nominated for an Emmy. And I believe this particular Emmy nomination is one of the Netflix specials that many trans activists considered to be transphobic. And of course, we remember, I believe this was either earlier this year or later last year, there was a myriad of Netflix employees who staged a walkout in protest. Some of those Netflix employees were even terminated. But the closer, which was the Netflix special, has been nominated for a Primetime Emmy. Now, TMZ spoke with a trans activist by the name of Ashley Marie Preston. Now, I cannot play the clip in which Ashley spoke on these things, but it was very clear the goals that Ashley wanted to get across in this next go round. Now, Ashley said that primarily the first time in which they tried to protest against Dave Chappelle, they were unprepared. But now what they're trying to do is to go back to approaching the situation. And this is not so much about Dave Chappelle, but this is about getting more trans content creators into the industry to be able to nullify the quote unquote transphobic speech against somebody like Dave Chappelle so that it's not so one-sided. All right. And basically be able to translate some of that outrage to benefit queer and trans people who are actually nominated for Emmys. So guys, here's what I want to say about this. Now, number one, I've heard some of the, Dave Chappelle, quote unquote, what is thought to be considered transphobic remarks. I won't get into my personal feeling about it because I talked about that the last time. But Netflix stood by Dave Chappelle, and the Emmys are nominating him for that, which must clearly indicate for any award shows like Emmys, Oscars, Grammys. And we must keep in mind that there are certain protected groups that are huge in Hollywood. The Jews are one. The LGBTQ community is another. So clearly, the people who run the Emmys would not nominate Chappelle if they felt that what he was doing was considered to be transphobic content. Okay? So that's number one. But number two, what you're seeing is the actions that the LGBTQ community is taking. Again, I don't believe that it's directly at Dave Chappelle, but trying to get their people into more prominent positions. What is this all about? This kind of reaction that you're seeing from trans activists, this is a power play, because they're not going to be able to say, all right, well, Dave Chappelle, you should not win because what you did was hate speech. They're not going to get him there. But what they are going to do is to use this opportunity to get some of their content creators into the limelight. And why are we talking about this? I know brothers like, well, man, why are you talking about this community? I'm a heterosexual person. Here's where the black community misses out on such strategy. Look at the strategy. Look at the agenda that these people are pushing, trying to get their people into positions of authority, bringing attention around their people. And this is a person that's black that's leading the charge here. But now when it comes to our community, where is our actions in which we're leveraging people to say, listen, we want somebody black in such and such positions. We feel offended by X, Y, and Z, and we want our people to have such and such ability to do this. It's something that we have clearly gotten away from. And then you wonder why our community doesn't get anywhere. It is because we don't play the political game, all right? The other groups, they do this strategically. When it fails on one end, they come back trying to approach it again. And in some cases, they're saying, hey, this is incendiary and inflammatory content directed at us, which I believe that Netflix don't feel that way. The Emmys don't feel that way. And I believe that a lot of people didn't feel that way. But it doesn't matter because they're going to be the ones threatening to pull their financial situation away, and those people who are loyal to them. You see, you don't have to be LGBTQ to be a supporter of it. There are plenty of heterosexual people who will stand with the LGBTQ community just on site. And that's what they're doing. They're going to put the money there. They're going to influence the people in Hollywood. They're trying to influence the people all the way up the ladder. But the blacks, we have not learned this. The way that we respond to things is, well, let's complain about it. It's unfair. Let's complain about it. But when we say let's complain about it, what are we trying to do? What is it that we're trying to get accomplished? This is what I want to know, because other groups are coming with actual plans, brothers and sisters. They have agendas. We have to understand what our agenda is. Number one, what are we trying to get? What are we trying to get approved? Okay, what are we trying to get approved? We don't know. We don't even try because we don't have an agenda, family. But these other people, they have the agenda. When you talk to us about what are you looking to get in elections, what are you looking to get from the private sector? We don't know. But it is clear what they're looking for. We want our people in this position. Look at us when we talk about police brutality. We want the police to stop killing us. But what do we want? We don't know. Stop killing us. But now, if it was the LGBTQ community, it would say we will want more of our people representing the police force. We want people who understand our community to represent us. If Ferguson has an 80% black population, we want a 90% police force. We want people that come from this community to be trained and become officers, because that is the power move. We don't ask for that. And that's why the scripture says you have not because you ask not. But other groups of people don't do that. They understand what they're trying to get accomplished before they even come out. And that's why you see some of these other groups like the Muslim community. I mention them all the time. 20 years ago, you can say whatever you want to say about Muslims after the terrorist attacks. Now, don't think about it. The gays, 30 years ago, say whatever you want to say. Now, don't think about it. The Jews, at one point, open season. Right now, don't you dare think about it. Want to know why? They had a plan. They financed it. All have to play the political game, whether we like it or not. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with the episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.